like I said, sometimes I'm playing and then I'm thinking about things of the next day. Or when I was younger, I was playing and think, oh, are they liking the show? Why are they not clapping? Or I'm gonna play something fast, so I'm gonna impress them. So once we start to play things from here,
From your mind.
and not from here, it just sounds like shit. Thank you guys for coming here today to, have some good food, some good wine, talk about music. Usually, I play with a band. That's my thing, like playing with real musicians. Sometimes I do like master classes, or I teach sometimes as well. And sometimes I have to play with backing tracks and that kind of stuff. But I'm not a big fan of doing that. I really like playing with bands, but today it's something special. So I wouldn't play like a song or anything like that, but I can like play a little bit, like messing around with the pedals and telling how I feel when I play music, how I get my tones, and like today, of course I'm familiar with the Medici because I have it. In this one I was playing Dante, I was playing a little bit before when I was here like about 2 weeks ago, I guess, 1 week ago. But usually when I go and I'm playing an amp that I never played before and it's in a different kind of environment without the band, so I have my ways to get around. But enough of talking, let me just make some noise and see how it goes. So basically like a clean tone, and then I can start messing around. And fuzz, of course. And more fuzz, of course. Yeah, something like that. A little bit out of tune still. So. Sorry.
Which one do you prefer? The Overdrive or the Fuzz?
Fuzz is my jam. Fuzz is Fuzz.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it for? I mean, because some of the guitar players that have most influenced you played a lot with the Fuzz, or just because using the Fuzz and that kind of effects helps you in defining your sound?
Both, but I would say the second.
The second one.
More, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have to think about only at one guitar players that has used the Fuzz most in his career?
Hendrix.
Hendrix.
Yeah,
Okay.
course, yeah.
Okay. And what is the peculiar sound of the Dophix pedal in your opinion? What is the most important characteristic of these two pedals, the Dante and the Medici?
Yeah, because they're very organic, I would say. But for me, it's like you have to have your clean tone. When I say clean tone, like clean signal, not necessarily clean, but coming from the amp, that's your sound. And then when you step on pedals, and then you shape that sound. Of course, if we're talking about the first pedals, then it's going to change drastically. If we go with overdrives, for me, overdrives, they have just to feels like an amp. So if it feels like an amp, it's right. So if it feels like it's in cranked amp, it's good. As far as the fuzz, I like mostly my thing it's with fuzz faces, because when I clean up, I can have all the range of tones that I want with just my volume here, right?
So also playing with the possibility of the instrument and then influencing the sound using only the instrument.
Totally, totally. That's why I like fuzz faces style pedals, because I consider the pedal an instrument. It's not only the guitar, because you have to play the pedal. Yeah. That's why a lot of guitar players, like when they play like fuzz pedals for the first time, especially a fuzz face, they don't like it. They sell it, or they say, "Wow, it's broken," and then they send it back. And
I cannot find my sound.
Yeah, because it's something that it takes. You have to tame. It's something. it's something that not all the time you play the fuzz, but the fuzz plays you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good image, I would say.
Yeah.
And talking about the overdrive, the other side of the coin, let's say, what is your favorite sound of the overdrive? If you have to think only at one song using the overdrive, what is the song that you will play?
Usually, if I go with something bluesy,
Okay.
that's what I would do. But then when I go with the psychedelic or heavier stuff, it's fuzz.
It's fuzz.
It changes in the last 7 years, I would say. That's when I start playing fuzz with more
More
consistently, and I've been experimenting and understanding and trying different pedals. So when you see, if you come to my shows, I'm gonna be with the fuzz engaged probably
90% of the time.
90%. Yeah. And then I play like 2 bluesy songs, and then I go for the overdrive or the clean.
Okay. And considering the amp, do you prefer the clean channel or the overdrive one? If you have the possibility to choose.
Clean.
The clean.
Clean.
And then building up the sound with the change of the pedals.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we hear, we read on the internet, on the forums, or we see players like talking about. And a lot of them, they just like, I wouldn't say misconceptions. I don't think you have to follow everything that you see online. You have to see something and say, oh, that's interesting. Let me try to see if it's true. Just like fake news or whatever. You say, okay, you see something, maybe this is, let me double check, right? And then you see. So one of the misconceptions, in my opinion, is that people say, like to make the fuzz sound great, you need to have an amp that it's in the edge of breakup or like distorting a little bit, breaking up. I completely disagree. Okay. I think for me it has to be clean. It just needs to be loud.
Okay.
So if it's very loud, it's gonna be pushing the pedal. So that's why I like clean amps. Like my main amp is a True Rock, and it's 100 watts. So I like that because even if I push the amp, which usually I do, I still have it clean, like big sound, and then I shape with the fuzz. Am I too loud? It's too loud in your face?
No.
Because I don't want to. Okay, so can I? I may do that actually. So I could play something like more bluesy, like. Yeah, it seems my guitar not staying tuned. I need to change strings for the. Yeah, I think it was the things that I did yesterday during the show, like going crazy and like beating the guitar and
being in the mood.
I think I need to. Yeah, yeah, I need to. But anyway, yeah, there was something. The energy that I tried to bring, and it was kind of hard because it's very hard to be present. I was bad at doing that before moving to the United States. Before moving to the United States 10 years ago. So I think it was like around 3 years before the 10 years. So 13 years ago, I started this journey about meditation. I started meditating more and being more. So at that time, it was crazy how my playing was really like flowing. It was beautiful and everything. I moved to the United States, and then when you move to a different country, different language, different culture, you kind of have to restart and do everything again. And so it was very, very intense. So I kind of lost that, and I'm bringing it back now. It's starting to come some glimpses. And so for now, it was kind of like that. I was trying to get in the moment, and then I started feeling, and the energy that I brought, there was the energy of being tired, but at the same time being happy to be here with you guys, and then that kind of comes in the playing. If there was the two Marcos playing, that would be even more beautiful, because then you have human beings interacting musically, because I have human beings here interacting with me, but not like playing instruments together. But if there's a band, and then when, you know, Confetti, he plays something, I go and play something with him, and then Polidori start moving the lines, and then I follow him, or I play something, they follow me. It's a
it's a mixture.
It's a mixture. It's a constant like dialogue, like interaction. Even being Brazilian, when I started playing guitar, I was already being influenced by bands such, not bands, it was AC/DC. It was Angus Young. Yeah, it was my favorite guitar player. It's still one of my favorite. And at that time, I didn't know what blues was, but AC/DC is a blues band with a rock drummer.
Yeah.
Basically, they play shuffles with the guitar, and the drum is playing straight like rock. So it was very bluesy, but I didn't know. And that actually started even before I playing, because my bigger brother, we're 7 years apart, so when he started listening to rock, that's when he brought the AC/DC albums at home. He brought his first one when he was 10 years old. I was 3.
Ooh.
So as being a kid that has a big brother, you don't want to copy your parents, you want to copy your big brother. I want to be like my big brother, so I was like listening with him, everything that he was listening. When I wanted to listen to something, he was the one that would put the vinyl, because he didn't trust me. I could probably scratch the vinyls, and then that was very strong. But on the other hand, my mother, she's a singer. She sings traditional Brazilian music, Brazilian traditional music, choro, samba, bossa nova, baião, forró, many kinds of music. She's amazing. And on top of that, I am Brazilian. So I'm there, I'm absorbing everything. Even if I'm not playing bossa nova, I got that in my veins a little bit. So even if I try faking bossa nova, it's going to probably sound a bit cool. For the Brazilian ones that play bossa nova, it's going to say like, hey, Artur's too bluesy playing his bossa nova. But maybe for the ones that are not Brazilians, they say, hey, that's bossa nova, you killing it, man. If you say so. So that comes part because it's part of your DNA. But for me, the strongest thing was the baião, which is traditional music from northeast of Brazil, which is very Mixolydian oriented. Instead of 4/4 like blues is, it's in 2. The lyrics, they kind of talk about the same thing, about some of the lyrics, of course, not all lyrics, but about drought, about misery, about, you know, like trying to overcome hard times and the kind of stuff. So they come apart. We share roots, right? Brazil also had, unfortunately, had slavery as the United States, but there was just different nations, countries. The ones that immigrated to the United States were different. I don't know if I would say the word tribes or nations or countries, I don't know. It was different than the ones that came to Brazil. So from there, it's a little bit different. But in Brazil, in the United States, it was forbidden to use percussion because the white in the United States thought, okay, if they use percussion, they're gonna communicate between them, and then they're gonna get together and fight us back.
The word knows.
Yeah, so let's ban that. So there was band, and then it was very focused on the singing and on the playing of the instruments, especially with the spirituals, with the church, and everything, right? In Brazil, that wasn't forbidden. That's why Brazil is so strong rhythmically, like with the samba, you know, it's really cool too. But the similarities comes from the roots, from the roots. Yes, definitely.
I have a question concerning the fact that you are very young, but you are already considered a big talent in the guitar world, and one of the talent of this generation of guitar players.
Don't trust Wikipedia, yeah.
No, I trust myself, I trust my ears.
No, I mean for the age. But,
Okay, for the age. But I mean, do you feel any kind of pressure in being considered one of the future of the blues? So, do you have a mission? Do you feel to have a mission of custody of the blues and, I don't know, keep the torch?
I don't consider myself that, but if some people consider, thank you, appreciate that. I'm just doing what I love, you know, expressing myself through the music. I love the blues music. I wasn't there in the United States. I wasn't born there. I'm not black. I think I'm 20 something, almost 30% black, because I did the heritage test before.
Okay.
Brazil, it's a big mix. It's a beautiful mix. So I'm black. I'm Spanish and Portuguese, and Brazilian native South American. But yeah, I wasn't there, like, so I don't have the blues in that sense as cultural.
Yeah.
But I'm somebody that just fell in love with the blues by a beautiful coincidence, and that changed my life. Like I said, I was just playing rock and roll and listening to rock, and I'll try to make the long story short. But my big brother, he decided to learn to play guitar, so he bought a guitar.
Yeah.
But my big brother, he's very talented in many ways, but he does so many things that he doesn't really focus.
Okay.
And then the guitar just stayed there in the sofa to the moment there was only one string. Ooh. Yeah, it was breaking. There was only one string. I think it was like the B string. I'm not sure. I had this friend in the building that I used to live. At that time, I was 11. He was 12. He came back home with a paper written with numbers and said, "Hey, I'm learning how to play guitar." He's the. It wasn't even tabs. It was like a. Anyway, it was written there. It was actually the first string, but I played it on the second string because that's the one I had. But anyway, I'll play on the first. But it was written 10, 12, 14, 17, 17, 14, 15. So it was like a. Right? So I got that and I play, right? Because 10, it means it's the first number is the string, second number is the fret. But if the number is 0, means open string, right? Yeah. So 10, 12, 14, 17, 17, 14, 15. This is a very, very famous melody in northeast of Brazil from a song called Asa Branca. Okay. Very, very traditional, has been recorded like for many countries. Anyway, so I played that, came to my mother and said, "Mom, look at this." And she was like, "How did you learn that?" With the paper. And she said, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, I would like to learn how to play. Can you give me like an acoustic guitar?" No, she said, "I would like to play a guitar. Can you buy me one?" And she said, "I don't have money. Let's talk with your father." They've been divorced since I was a kid, so he came with half of the money, my mother the half of the money. But my father and my mother was like, "No, you have to start with the acoustic, with the nylon strings."
So
come
no
on, I want
guitar.
an electric guitar. I want to like rock and stuff. Anyway, they gave me that. I started learning by ear, playing the AC/DC records and learning. So I was already playing the blues without knowing that there was the blues because it's very bluesy. One day I was jamming at home. I had this shitty amplifier at my place, and we used to live close to a radio station. So all the devices at our place was picking up interference from the radio antenna.
Okay. And what interference did you catch?
There we go. I was jamming with AC/DC, and then I started hearing that song coming. At that time, my brother already allowed me to go with the needle, so I stopped the needle. By the way, the first solo that I learned was from AC/DC was "You Shook Me All Night Long."
Okay.
And I remember vividly that night because
Back in Black in
yeah,
1980.
yes. So you're a big AC/DC fan.
Yeah.
So I remember that night very well because my brother was with me because he was seeing me like learning and he was like kind of proud. And then I was like going, and can you imagine like going back and and trying again. Today it's so easy, right? You just put YouTube and somebody like shows you exactly what to put your finger and everything. At the time I was putting my finger, whatever I feel it was right. If it sounds right, that was the way I learned. And that's the beauty too.
Yep.
So you be more unique, not just a copy of everybody. Anyway, and I remember that we had like how do you say when the electricity is cut down? Like a
blackout.
Blackout. There was a blackout. We used to live on the 15th floor, so we went downstairs just to jam. You know, when there is a blackout in the big building, you go meet your friends. Yeah, and energy was back, electricity was back. We came back by elevator and finished learning the solo.
Okay.
But anyway, that day, the other day I was playing and I heard the music coming, and it was something that I stopped jamming. When I stopped jamming, I heard the person from the radio saying, "Oh, this is a programa Encontro com Blues," which is like a meeting with the blues show. And the host of the show, he said, "This is the phone number, call us if anything." And I call, "Hey, what is this?" The guy said, "Oh, this is a blues show. It's about blues music. Tonight it is special about John Lee Hooker." And I was like, "Okay, nice." And then I started following the TV radio show and learning with that and searching on the internet. And there was no YouTube at that time. I mean, it was just like the magazines and learning and albums and searching one thing or another.
So everything starts from John Lee Hooker.
Everything starts with AC/DC.
AC/DC and then John Lee Hooker.
Or with Brazilian music even, right? But yeah, and then that's how I met the blues. And then since then, I put the tattoo. I've been doing everything. But everything has been changing because I always like to bring all my influences. I don't like to be like, oh, he's a blues artist. Oh, he's a blues musician. No, I'm just myself and I play whatever I want to play. Comes a lot of blues because that's what I love.
I love a lot.
But I'm not trying to fit
into any kind
niche.
of genre.
Yeah.
And you also had the possibility in your career to play with some of the blues legends. I'm thinking about Buddy Guy, I'm thinking about Joe Bonamassa, and also the big events like the Crossroad Guitar Festival or at the Experience Hendrix Tour. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about it?
I feel great. It's really cool. It's really cool. First time I had the opportunity to play with Buddy Guy, I was living in Chicago for a while, and I was playing his bar. It was my last day in Chicago. I was friends with all the musicians. You guys been there, Buddy Guy's Legends, right? Yeah, that was in 2000. I've been there in 2006, 7, and in 11. It was in 2011 when I played that, so I knew everybody. It was my last day. I told the guy that was running the jam. It was just a jam session. I brought my guitar.
Okay.
At that time, I didn't need to put my name on the list anymore because everybody knew it. They just called me and then
come on.
He said, "Yeah, do you want anything special for tonight? Since you were last night?" And I said, "Yeah, just put me to play with good musicians." No, not really, but with good musicians. Because sometimes you go to those jams and everybody can play, and sometimes it's just like a football game. It doesn't matter if you are Messi, like you amazing player, and then you have all the other players around you not good. I don't think you're gonna win the match.
Okay.
Right? So I just said, just put me with good musicians so I can really, play good too, have a great time. And he said, "Okay, I got you." And then later he came. It was Brother John. Do you see Brother John there? The guy with the blonde hair. He was doing the jam. And then he said, "Okay, if you play good, Buddy Guy is gonna come on stage and jam with you." And I said, "Okay." And I started playing, and then Buddy Guy took his drink and came to the stage, started singing. He looked at me, gave me a big smile. And I saw him there every night. All the time I was there, he was there. I mean, I didn't bother him because I don't like that kind of, and he just there. There was one day that I came to talk to him, ask for a picture. The first time I was there, but afterwards, no. And then it's great. And then I get a lot of questions. "Hey, did you get nervous when you were playing with Buddy Guy?" I said, "No, because I knew all the songs. I've been playing with Buddy Guy since that radio show. So I know all Buddy Guy songs, everything, what he does on the shows and everything. So I wasn't nervous in that way. I was just thankful."
Do you wish to play something from Buddy Guy for us?
Sure, yeah. This was a very important song for me because I got that album at his club and I asked him to sign and took a picture with him at the time. And every time that I hear that album, I remember from the times that I was in Chicago, just something like if I still can play, I don't remember it. Anyway, and then it's a cool riff. Yeah, I really like that. Yeah, and then I played with him again like last year, 4 shows, like opening his shows on the tour, and 2 of the nights I had to jam with him. It was really cool.
Very cool. Since you've spoken about the meditation side and the aspect of the meditation for your music, and Riccardo wants to know when you are live and you are playing on stage, when do you feel that the meditation part comes into your play? There is some elements of the meditation side that increase your playing style. It's something that gets richer with times, in your opinion.
Yes, I think it's the capability of being able to be present, to be so. Like I said, sometimes I'm playing and then I'm thinking about things of the next day. Or when I was younger, I was playing and think, oh, are they liking the show? Why are they not clapping? Or I'm gonna play something fast, so I'm gonna impress them. So once we start to play things from here, and not from here, it just sounds like shit. Maybe people, they're gonna, the majority is gonna say, oh, he's playing something so fast, that's so cool, but
you have to read yourself.
Yeah, you have to feel it. So I'm more like, I like when things come faster because that's part of your personality, or we're communicating at the moment, not because you're trying to impress. So meditation gave me that.
The focus.
I'm still learning, that it still comes to my mind. I'm playing, comes things to my mind, and I have to be, shut up. I'm talking with this here. I'm not talking with this. But it's something very hard to do, but meditation helps.
Do you do some sessions maybe before the show to be prepared?
I was trying, but this tour has been so intense.
I guess so you didn't have time.
We get there, and then the time you have, it's to try to recover the jet lag or try to sleep a little bit from the night you've done. But sometimes I do. I put my earplugs, earphones, and then during the trip, I'm listening to something spiritual or something cool. Sometimes I do some breathing exercises when I'm in the hotel. And sometimes if the venue, not all the venues, they have the structure, but if the venue has like a decent green room and I have time to be by myself, I'll just stay there and meditate a little bit. Yeah.
Last question, are you already composing new music?
I am, thanks for asking. Thanks for asking, because I used to write songs and that started changing together with the meditation.
Yeah.
And it started changing with the album in 2020, Fading Away, which was recorded in 2019.
Okay.
Actually, the 2018 album already has a little bit of that change. But still on that 2018 album to before, I was writing songs just repeating, copying and pasting what the blues community or the songs were doing.
Okay.
Not necessarily, I think I agree with the lyrics, what the lyrics were saying, but I was like, oh, this is how they write songs, I'll do the same. So I was like, songs about like a party, about alcohol, about nothing wrong. I mean, you do whatever you want. But some of the lyrics, when I hear nowadays, I say, this sounds a little bit like maybe a little bit chauvinist.
Okay.
Like, and I was like, oh, I don't like this, because blues has a lot of that. Like, it's beautiful songs too, but there's a lot of it's a very male dominant scene. So there were some lyrics that I was like, ooh, I was singing that song.
Long time ago.
So there's some songs that even my mother, why don't you sing that song anymore? It's my favorite song. Mom, come on, it's a little bit, it's not nice. But it's not nothing heavy, nothing aggressive. It's just
Understood.
Just like
the feeling of that song does not represent you anymore.
Not represent me anymore, and it's I'm not a woman, of course you can see, but I'm very feminist and pro-feminism, and I still learn now every day. I know that I'm still have a lot of things inside me because of my culture, because of the society, a lot of things that I don't agree, but they hear, but at least I address them. So, but then when I start meditating, I start to understand those things. And after like being around Pollyanna as well, when she was like, hey, you see how the music business is for women? We see how they just treated me and how they treated you. And you start to see, oh, okay. And then you start to be more around that. Yeah. And not only that, but I was starting to write songs. Okay, I'm gonna write songs about what I feel, not just copying and pasting the style of the song. So I started writing songs about things that haunt me, death, anxieties, fear.
So big themes, let's say.
Big themes, like something more deep, personal experiences. Still, if you come to my show, probably I'm gonna play like one song or another that you sound a little bit, okay, the song has a little bit like Should Have Never Left. It's a song like, my baby took everything I got, my baby took everything I got, she left me all alone, yeah, my baby, she's gone. It's like...
Basically blues.
Yeah, basically blues. But then a little lyrics like, it's kind of silly. This is like but I still play because it's part of the story. It's not like a big thing, and people love it. But then it comes to my shows, you're gonna be talking like a song Time, which is like talking about time, which is haunting us all the time. And like time is it's the reaper, it's the silent killer that's gonna come and take you at any time. Or writing songs about anxieties. And those songs, most of them came during the pandemic too, when I was by myself. Basically that. And then this new music that is coming up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be releasing soon 3 songs, which are actually cover songs. Because my manager, he said, hey, why don't you record some cover songs that you feel like a connection with the songs from artists that you like, while we deal with the label. Because labels, it's kind of tough. They come kind of with the money, but everything takes so long, and it's just like a bank loan. They give you the money, but you have to give it back. Somehow.
It's a contract.
Yeah, it's a contract. And then I recorded those songs. We're gonna be releasing soon. I cannot say which one, but we're gonna be releasing soon. But I wrote already 8 to 9 songs. I've been actually during the trip like working on the lyrics, and I can't wait to go record. So I'm probably gonna be recording then in May. And then releasing it will depend that I'm gonna go independent, what label I'm gonna go, if it's the same or not. So that's
almost complete. Let's say that
it's almost
the new album.
And this is my favorite one. I hear the songs and I say, wow, this is so cool. I can't wait to record it. I kind of have this fear that somebody's gonna record something similar. So just about to steal my leg. Yeah, you're right. So yeah.
Okay. Can you the song that you mentioned, Time, just stuck in my mind. Can you please play for us the main riff or the solo of this song?
Yeah. It's been haunting me since the day I was born. Can the band help me? There's a drum kit right there. Do you want to join?
Really?
Yes. Please. Can you? Do you have an amp for you? Do we have a bass?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a bass.